So recently I've been noticing some memes, let's say, or complaints about Apex's new solo queue thing. I haven't actually logged on yet, so I don't know the whole issue of it. But by the looks of it, it's people are complaining that it costs too much to be able to get things like the skins and cosmetics that they'd like. And it's actually starting to create kind of like almost a community agreement that people shouldn't be spending any more money on Apex as a way of, I guess, making a cause for it. While I do agree that some of their stuff is a little overpriced for what you're getting, it's merely a cosmetic skin. I don't see why you need to be paying that much for it. But I want to explain why we should not stop spending. People think it's, the best way to communicate to the developers that it's cost too much. But I think we're kind of doing it in the wrong way. This is a quick disclaimer. I'm not a professional on this kind of stuff. I don't know a lot about the whole insider of why things are priced the way they are. I also don't know the inside or all the information on exact details for the development teams. But this is my opinion on why you shouldn't be against spending money on Apex. Now, unfortunately, Apex being tied to EA, and EA already has a history for paywalls. Honestly, I understand. It's a meme at this point. It's bad. But don't hate Apex because of it. To explain my opinion on why we shouldn't be against spending on Apex, I first need to talk about other games. The two that come to mind to best illustrate the pros and reasoning for spending money on a video game are usually CSGO and Fortnite. Now, CSGO has always been popular due to its past titles of games and the competitive scene of it, but its cases for its cosmetic items actually have been just as popular. Unfortunately, like Apex, there's a factor of luck and RNG involved in them. But what makes CSGO cases more worthwhile is the ability to sell the skins and upgrade. Not to mention the rewards for ranked allow you to get skins and cases as well. I don't think Apex should introduce being able to sell the skins to upgrade because that encourages bad gambling habits and makes people more likely to try and scam others. And just a bunch of other issues and shit. Now, on to Fortnite. Disclaimer, this part is a little longer, so bear with me. So, Fortnite is huge. Its fan base is huge. Its profit is huge. Unfortunately, its balancing issues are also huge. But Fortnite has also had a huge development team because of their enormous profit. But how were they able to generate so much on a free game? Let's look into that. So, when Fortnite first launched, they had a lot of big name content creators advertise the game. It started off with Save the World mode, which at first didn't do too much. Then they tried again with their new free-to-play Battle Royale mode, which interested a lot more because it was free. The game was free, but they introduced unique cosmetics for reasonable prices, which when you think about how many people played, still added up. But not only that, they added new skins very frequently, which more and more people wanted to own over time. Do the math, a few million people playing, a couple bucks here and there, every single week, it adds up. And of course, with so many people playing, companies and organizations started getting more involved. They sponsored the game, which became, beneficial for both parties. More publicity for said sponsor equals more income for the game and its developers, which allowed even more frequent updates to both the map and the shop. But that's not all. With how many big companies and the fan base getting larger, celebrities started getting involved too, causing even more publicity for Fortnite. In the end, Fortnite didn't have to do a lot of its own publicity. The community itself just kind of took care of that for them, which, leads me to the community. The game developers actually started making more modes and events that encourage the community to be more involved, from in-game events and celebrity events to introducing creative mode, the mode that encouraged people to want to show off their work, and in short, create areas that Fortnite could use on the map. So basically free labor. Honestly, whoever is in charge of this, the PR development on this, fuck me. But you think about that, the amount of large names promoting this, as well as just offering cheap and affordable skins that make kind of a competitive thing where people wanted to own as much as they could. There's nothing special about the skins, they just looked wacky. And that's kind of where Apex falls short. They're not able to develop a new skin every single week. They're not able to develop new cosmetics every single week. There's just not enough development. In short, it's because they haven't made as much money. So they don't have the development team that Fortnite has. And without the same kind of development team as a game like Fortnite, it's hard for them to kind of keep up with everything. Which, also being related to EA, they start offering things that a little too expensive of a price. Do I agree with some of the pricing on things? No. Do I agree with people boycotting spending money on the game itself? Hell no. You can't expect the game to go any further by not spending money in some way, shape, or form. I'm not saying blow your entire savings on it, but don't be stingy. I'm all for supporting this game. It's a good game. Am I on board with the whole RNG based style of their packs? Not overly. I've gotten some pretty shit drops. But if they could tweak the prices to make them a little cheaper, I'm sure they'd make a hell of a lot more profit and it would attract more people to play. For a game that its initial launch was quiet, they've done a lot to get out there and become a very popular game. It's a good game, has a great feel to it, great community. Like, I mean, honestly, the Apex community is just, it's a nice community compared to Fortnite, which is usually full of toxic people. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Fortnite. I'm just not a big fan of the game. I'm not a big fan of playing it. But with Apex, I'm going to continue playing it. I'm going to continue spending money on it because I like the stuff that they have. Am I happy about the prices? No. But in the end, it's helping the community to grow so they can keep offering a great free game. I can't guarantee that a lot of this stuff is accurate, but it's based on my opinion. And if you don't agree, let me know. But yeah, that's all. I'm not good at these kind of videos, so talk to you later. Peace.